This is Driving Solutions, exclusively on CBTNews.com.
Today's managers simply do not have the time to screen calls and monitor performance like they should. And that's where CallRevu comes in. Today we're learning more about their services and their recent acquisition of Total CX. Ben Chodor, who is the CEO of CallRevu, is joining me in the studio. Thank you so much for...
Nice. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a longtime fan of the show.
Good. Well, we appreciate that. So many people do Zoom calls and what have you.
No, this is better.
This is better, right? Yeah. Nothing better than having you in the studio. So for those few people that might be living under a rock in the automotive industry that are not as familiar with CallRevu as we are, and so many dealers are that I've spoken to, tell our audience what solutions CallRevu takes care of.
So basically, think about this. The most valuable commodity any dealership has is when someone calls in. Right. You want to get them into the store.
No question.
Right? I was in New Orleans yesterday with the dealer group, and they do a lot of work with Google. Mm-hmm. And they were saying to me that on Google, for every form that's filled out that I'm interested in a car, there's 4 phone calls.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that came from Google's numbers, right? So when you think about that, you go, holy cow, the phone.
Yeah,
phone's the most valuable thing.
Right.
What happens? 2 things I know for a fact. 30 to 35% of all calls coming into a dealership go unanswered.
Oh my God.
Maybe they go to voicemail.
Right.
Or
but
maybe
that's unanswered.
I go around the IVR and I'm like, I had enough and I leave. And we know 35 to 40% of outbound calls from the dealerships go either to voicemail or unanswered because they don't recognize the number. It could be a million different reasons.
That's right.
So if I could help you as a dealership cut the number of unanswered, give you more opportunities to talk to those customers.
Of course.
And you can get them into the store.
Yep.
How many more cars are you going to sell?
Oh my God. It's just the car business forever has been a numbers game.
Right.
How many leads you got, how many showings, how many demo drives, how many negotiations, how many deliveries, right?
Yep.
So if you want more deliveries, you just need more opportunities here.
That's all we want to do, and we want to tell you where your calls are coming in.
Right.
When's the volume of the calls coming in? So
Sure.
are most of the calls coming in at 4 o'clock?
Right.
Are they coming because they're ending up in sales because no one's answering in service? And all they want is a status check. Well, guess what? Then add some more BDC, get some people to answer the phone, get more receptionists, figure out what to do.
That's right.
But you have to know where the calls are coming from.
Yeah,
you have to know what are they asking about? And so not only are we tracking the calls, like our AI is basically transcribing every call, why it's going on. And it's giving alerts. So if someone says keywords that you want, a message is going to basically instantly go to a manager or GM, no matter where he is, on his phone going, there's a deal here. It works even as important on the other side. What if there's a CSI problem? Mm-hmm. What if someone's talking about a broken promise? Yeah. I want to know that information too.
Of course.
So not only are we tracking it, we are actually giving you valuable insights so you can engage better with the customer.
Wow.
But also, since we're tracking it all, it's all becoming part of our AI and our ML, we can give you the tools to go back and meet with your team and go, man, if we just fix this or this.
Yeah.
Or how about use this example I like. You call the service department, you just want to schedule an oil change.
Yeah.
They schedule an oil change. Isn't that the perfect opportunity for the agent to say, hey, since you're coming in, we noticed you haven't had your tires rotated.
That's right.
Upsell opportunity, right? People call in for a car and what happens if the car is not available now? How am I supposed to respond so I can get you into the store? Because we know with most of these dealers, if I get you in the store, you have a really good chance of closing the business.
No question about it.
So don't forget about the phones. The phones are the most important thing.
Right. Especially in a day when I think dealers have forgotten about the phones because of texting and everything else. And I'll just text or I'll send them an email or whatever the case might be. And that's just not the case. So many people want to call and talk to someone. To think that 35 or 40% of those calls are going unanswered is unbelievable.
Right.
That's the same GM that will tell you when you walk in as a dealer, hey, where are the deals, right? Hey, boss, we need more advertising dollars.
Right.
You need more advertising dollars. You're not answering 35% of the phone calls, right?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And then if you could use it also to train the reps, because you have this commodity coming into your dealership and they're there.
Right.
And sometimes you don't have the best trained because there's a lot of turnover in the auto business.
Oh, no question about it.
So if I could use all these past calls, think about us as alone. 83 million calls we transcribed and have all the data.
Oh my God.
We take that blind data and we give it back to the dealerships and go, here's the key things that help close business.
Yeah.
So teach it. Use it as a reinforcement as well.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, that in and of itself is just huge.
Yes.
Because we haven't had that in the past in the industry, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, when I was in the industry now 20 years ago, we had different types of call companies out there, and they'd record the call, and I would come in and of course, say, let's listen to some of the phone calls. As the GM, it was my responsibility to make things happen. And the first question to my managers was, is somebody listening to the calls every day?
Right.
Oh yeah, boss, every day we listen to all of them, right?
Right.
They weren't listening to any of them, right. So you'd hit that button and you'd listen to the first three and go, I can't do this. I can't do it. To your point, they're going to a call on hold. They're going to somebody that's not trained. The customer's upset. He's being transferred or she's being transferred all over. It's amazing that 20 years later we're still challenged in this area.
And think about it on the service side, since fixed ops is so important now to the dealerships. If I can tell you that most of your calls you're getting, we'll say, it's about engines. Right. And engines are very expensive, so you make a lot of money on it. Of course. Is this an opportunity to advertise more? Since we're getting all these calls? So it's all these tools that we can help you with. It's your data. This is the part I don't understand. You said it. If you spend all this money on all your GA4 stuff and spending it all on Google and all the ads, and all you want to do is have people come in, how do you forget about the phone? And what about the response? And how much are these calls hurting or helping your reputation?
Yeah, that's true too.
So you're gonna know it then. Was it a happy client? Was it a sad client? I mean, were they upset? Every element you're gonna know. Does it help me figure out where I need to spend more money? Right. Where I don't need to spend money? Where I need to work? And that's really what we're trying to do.
There's no question about it. And I would imagine for we're talking about maybe a dealer that's got one store or what have you, but you can imagine the dealer groups out there, and there's so many of them now that have 5 or 6 rooftops, maybe 10 or 15. And to have a service like this at your fingertips as the president of a company that's got 15 dealerships, to say that, because that's in real time what's happening. That's probably the most impressive part about it, right?
Well, I was with a group in Florida about a month and a half ago, and they basically said, and they have about 70 plus stores, and they were like, point blank, it's the year of the phones.
Yeah, it is.
Every single opportunity that comes in, especially how hard it is to sell a car right now, we have to be at the top of our game.
That's right.
And we want to help you with it.
That's right. We're all walking around with a phone on our hip, right? And that's what they're going to do.
Right.
So
and we're not only tracking the calls that are going to your desk, wherever that number is going to. Right. And each number is separate. So we also can tell you, this ad is working because we're getting a lot of calls from this place. We're not getting anything here. Right. Does it mean that maybe we need to spend more money in this area? Or does it mean we don't need to spend anything because we're not getting anything?
In fact, take that budget and put it over here where you're getting all the calls.
Yep.
So it brings it down to a science.
It is.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So talk to us about the Total CX acquisition. What is Total CX, and then why the acquisition?
So we did the acquisition for a couple reasons. One is phones. It's all about phones. Yeah. We're integrated with any phone system. It doesn't matter if you're Ring Central, it doesn't matter if you're Cisco, it doesn't make a difference if you're Amazon. We integrate with every phone, so it doesn't matter what it is. But clients keep on asking us, we need a new phone system. And if we bring in the phone system, not only, now I'm tracking every single call, not just sales and service, I'm tracking, doesn't matter where it is. Right. Finance department, doesn't matter where it goes, every call, we can control it. We can give you real data instantly and combine it all and have it embedded. So that was one thing that really attracted to us. We wanted to be able to offer it. We're still agnostic to phone, but we have our own system. Okay. They're one of the leaders in the space. They have over 1,000 rooftops already using their phone systems. Oh, wow. Okay. And we're like, that's amazing. They also were the 3rd place largest call tracking. So basically, it was us and Car Wars were 1 and 2. Sure. They were number 3. So we got the 3rd place competitor who was kind of kicking at our heels. Yeah. We acquired them, and it made us larger than Car Wars. Oh, so now we're the world's largest call tracking auto-focused company in the market.
That's pretty cool.
So it was great. Gave us more land. Right. We had 5,000 plus clients. Okay. They have a couple thousand clients. Okay. The ability for us to take the phone systems and now sell it into our 5,000 clients was a huge reason we wanted to do the deal.
Yeah, and how's that going so far?
It's going great. The deal is about, this week it's 30 days. We're going on week, day 30. It's going great. We've integrated it all. We're changing the branding. The sales and marketing is going. We're starting to offer the phone system to our clientele and to new clients. Okay. And it's great. Bringing teams together and new ideas and just making us, more creative, because really at the end of the day, we just want to elevate intelligence for our customers.
Sure.
And now we have more data.
So now you're a total solution when it comes from end to end for dealers that have an issue in this space. There's probably dealers that have come to you and said, okay, look, Ben, if you think I need a new phone system, I'm coming to you for the total solution, right?
One neck to choke, one place to go, one bill, we can bundle it together. It's just easy.
Right. That's great. That's fantastic. So, so now what? Now that you've got it all together, is it just really a marketing play now to get that word out to the dealer community to say, here's what the total package looks like?
That's part of it, but the other part is now that we have this combined, what else can we offer? So we're launching a product called Test Track, which now is going to be our AI that allows you to train your fixed ops and salespeople or any department. So basically, the AI calls into you or you call the AI, and you have a conversation with them, and we have your playbook loaded into it with machine learning, and you get to practice. I kind of call it the batting cage.
Okay.
So look, we're tracking the calls. We know what's going on with every single call. We know where we need work. I could go to you and say, hey, you know what? You're having issues with getting people to come into the dealership.
You mean when you say you don't mean the dealership, but you
personally.
You
as individually. I could look at you as, because I'm tracking every single salesperson, every person in service, in fact, everyone in the dealership, and I can say, here's what you need work on.
Right.
You don't ask people their first name.
Right.
You don't do this, you don't do this. Go practice, go in the batting cage and do the Michael Jordan, 10,000 hour, outliers, Malcolm Gladwell. Practice until you get it totally right.
That's fantastic.
And so again, if we're going to give you all these tools and track everything, we might as well help train as well.
Well, and probably what you realized in that is that to give those dealers the tools, that's one thing, and it's great. But if you don't have somebody appointed in that dealership to become the champion of that, it's all for naught, right?
Exactly.
It's like, okay, we did all of this, but who's going to take this on and do it? Everybody's busy doing it. So to have your company as a third party come in, which by the way is better that it's a third party, in my humble opinion, because it's if I know Bobby and I let him off the hook, Bobby, that's the way he is. He'll sell us 15 cars a month or 10.
The numbers don't lie, right? The info doesn't lie.
Exactly. So to have a third party such as CallRevu be able to come in as a coach to go, hey, you can add another couple of units a month just by doing X, Y, and Z. And we've got the capability to do that.
That's all it is. Just little things, little tweak. We don't want to change that guy who sells the 15 cars. We don't want to change his swing. We just want to tweak it a little bit, make it a little bit better. And if we could do that, that's great. And again, how do you not collect all the data? It's your data. You should know what people are saying,
of course,
to your employees, what they're saying externally. So after they leave, what are they writing about your company? Are they going on Yelp and are they going on Google and they're writing negative? Did it happen because of one of the calls?
That's right. And I would say that my experience in running dealerships is that when the team inside the dealership knows that you're checking and that you got this coaching capability to it and you're that dialed in, whole different salesperson taking that call or BDC operator, right?
Yeah. And look where we are today's world compared to during COVID. You didn't have to be amazing to sell a lot of cars.
No, you didn't.
Now you have to be really good. You have to be at the top of your game. And
no question.
If we could just help you get a little bit better, if we could help every dealership sell 10% more cars, even 5% more cars, and if you're selling 200 cars a month,
that's right, it's huge.
They're 10 or 20 cars a month, 200 a year, times 20 or $30,000. It's a lot of money.
Sure.
Or if they go to your service department, they don't have a good experience in your service department.
Sure.
They're going to go to Jiffy Lube next time.
Right.
You want to keep them in.
Of the 100 stores, let's say you go to 100 stores and you make your pitch or they're called or whatever. How many have no programs and go, wow, this is fantastic? And how many have got programs and they go, yours is superior to anything else out there?
I think there's still, if you take Greenfield, there's probably about 20% of the, we'll call it the OEM dealerships, that say like Audi or Mercedes at them.
Sure.
Because there's like 60,000 independents. So there's a lot of
the
them.
Independents.
So if I take away the independents, you go, the ones with brands, there's probably like 20% that are Greenfield. And
really?
You sit there and you go, because did they not use it or did they use it once? They didn't understand the data? Because if you're just going to plug it in and you're not going to have the GM or the sales manager go into look at it.
That's right.
We can't help you.
That's right.
That's
exactly right.
So
it's like going to the doctor and he says, take this pill in the morning and this in the afternoon, and you take neither one of them, and you still got the ailment at the end of the month.
You have high cholesterol and you don't take your Lipitor, and
you don't walk.
And then you had a stroke or a heart attack and you wonder why, and you go, yeah, you were supposed to take one of these white
That's right.
pills every single day.
That's right.
And that's really what we're trying to do. And
That's
so
right.
there's probably like 20% of the greenfield, but then there's a lot of people who we want to help you understand. Don't do the technology just for the technology's
Yeah,
sake. And if it's
yeah.
not the right, and we have all different sizes.
Right.
Like, it's not like you have to spend thousands of dollars a dealer, each rooftop.
Yeah.
You can spend several $100s. You can spend $1,000.
Yeah.
Let's come up with a package that fits what you need,
Sure.
so you get the biggest return.
I spoke to one of your clients, as I often do, prior to these interviews, big group, and I asked him about CallRevu and your services, and he said it literally lowered my ad budget by 35%.
Yep.
Because we're every manager, we need to spend more money.
Yeah.
We need to spend more money.
Yeah.
And as I said in the opening, I was kind of referring to that, was that you need to spend more money. No, you need to spend more time with the
Right.
calls that are coming in that sometimes dealerships don't even know about.
Right.
That's the crime. They don't even know what they don't know. They don't know what they're losing.
Right.
You know?
Well, if I could cut the average of 30% unanswered calls to say only 10%, you got 20% more calls,
Right.
20 more opportunities. There you go. You're still paying the same amount of money for that advertising to bring it in.
Yeah.
You're just having a better return.
That's right. That's right. So moving forward, are we going to hear about more M&A activity?
We could. We're always open.
Okay.
The goal is, if it makes sense to our customers,
Okay.
and we still, for us, the two most important things: rock solid technology.
Yeah.
I think we built the best technology. We built it over the last 4 or 5 years, and
Sure.
it's solid. And we have to give stellar service.
Yeah.
So if something makes it where we as an organization can't give the same service to our dealers that we give now, we're not going to risk it.
Okay.
I think that's probably one of the stickiest things. Great technology, knock on wood, but the service, you have an issue, we're going to be there. You need help, we're going to be there.
That's huge. Because
You know?
as you know, you go through NADA. We were out there. We met together. But when you walk through NADA, all these promises are being made.
Right.
And then 5 months into it or 3 months into it, the dealer's like, I can't get anybody on the phone. The sales department doesn't know that the support department isn't working together, right?
Because you hear about these companies and they're growing like 30 or 40% a year.
Right.
You can't keep up your humans at 30 or 40.
right.
And we're sitting there like, we're already at the size.
Yeah.
For us, it's just
great.
incremental. It's how do
Sure.
we continue to guarantee that my account managers can meet with every one of their clients either weekly or monthly.
Sure.
And that's what it's about.
So are you a friend or a foe when you walk into a showroom and the managers are like, uh-oh, here it comes? Because you provide that accountability
Yes.
for the dealer to go, how are we
Right.
performing, right?
You
At
know,
the end of the day.
If you're a progressive GM who really just wants growth and top line and
Yeah.
you want to continue, I think we're a friend.
That's
because
right.
we're going to help
That's
you
right.
sell more cars,
Yeah.
period, and be
That's right.
better operating organization.
Yeah, of course.
And if you're short-sighted, then they're going to look at it like, oh, this is just going to be more work for us. But they have to understand that. No, our goal is to make it less work for you.
That's right. So,
So-
and that's the whole idea behind anything AI today, is that it should make your life easier, not harder, right?
Exactly.
That's fantastic. Wow. So those dealers that are out there that are listening to us have this conversation right now. If you have no program that sounds like this on your phones, if I were you, I'd click on right now the link below this video, and you owe it to yourself and your dealership. You probably heard me say that before on CBT News, but it is the year of the call. This is where it stops and starts. You see it in your surveys. You hear it from your customers. I couldn't get somebody on the line. I almost didn't come to buy a car here. You don't know the deals that you may be missing. And Ben's got an incredible offering here with CallRevu. So thank you, Ben, so much
thank
for
you.
for
This was a
coming
lot
in.
of fun.
Yeah, this is great. And these are the kinds of solutions that we want to be providing to our dealer audience and managers out there. Embrace it, because I will say this: if you don't embrace some kind of a call program like this to take care of it, guess what the dealer is going to do? They're going to call you in and go, hey, it's been nice working with you, but you got to get on the program. And the program's pretty strong. So CEO of CallRevu, Ben Chodor, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Really
This was
appreciate it.
great.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks for watching Driving Solutions, exclusively on CBTNews.com.